What's going on? In this video, I want to explain how the Internet Computer Protocol is different than any other crypto out there and why it is potentially the best cryptocurrency in the world. And I know that that's a bold statement, but I'm just going to jump right in. So first of all, this is based upon technology. The biggest trend in the world right now is AI. Artificial intelligence is basically programs, algorithms, data, computation, etc. Crypto aimed to be Web 3. So Web 1 was basically, read text. Web 2 was interact. Web 3, we're talking about the metaverse, we're talking about AI, we're talking about interoperable blockchains, things of that nature, right? Enhanced security, so many different things. Ethereum, Solana, these top chains, AVAX, Phantom, Bitcoin itself. Now, these blockchains run on top of centralized technology, which eliminates the purpose and basically actually means they're not decentralized. The whole purpose of decentralization is to decentralize. Centralized means everything is in one place, right? So Amazon Web Services, right, hosts. It's a monopolization on technology. So the cloud is hosting all these different programs, all this different software. So if the cloud goes down or the company goes down or there's an issue with the infrastructure that it's built on top of, everything that's built on top of that tech is subject. Also, you can be censored, you can be banned, you can be regulated, you can be charged for APIs. Okay, so the internet computer is not just a crypto, it is an infrastructure with the Motoko programming language, which is the first programming language designed specifically for AI. So there are so many points when it comes to ICP that nothing else even comes close. So the first one is Motoko is the first programming language for AI. All right, a lot of programmers use TypeScript and Python and all these other programming languages, but none of them were designed specifically for AI, okay? So remember that artificial intelligence, I won't go down this rabbit trail, but what they say it is, it's LLMs, it's large language models. We're going into the AI agent age now, where you see that a lot of things are being automated. So it's basically software that runs data. It's generative AI, so it gets data sets, right? And if you have retrieval augmented generation, RAG, and this is all important for what I'm going to be sharing with you, you basically have an LLM like ChatGPT. The large language model is the brain. Then you can use something like N8N, which is a connector of automations, and you can connect that AI brain to arms and legs like your emails or your CRM, your customer relationship management system, etc. The problem is a lot of these things, almost actually all of these things, are built on Web 2 infrastructure, and you have these APIs and you have all these different subscriptions. It's very costly. There's throttling, there's rate limits, there's big tech, there's censorship, there's this harvesting and this stealing of your data, right? So you're being charged to host on their platforms and you have zero privacy. Okay, these are many problems. Then not to mention that cybersecurity is like a $10 trillion a year problem, okay? ICP solves this. Now, lawyers, doctors, businesses like this cannot use regular LLMs like Grok or ChatGPT because the data has to be private, it has to be secure, and things of that nature. So typically, enterprise levels, they have to charge a lot more money, pay a lot more money, etc. But the point of what I'm saying is this: ICP is Web 3. It is a new internet. It is a programming language, right, that is designed for AI. It is the only blockchain in the world that is a real blockchain. Ethereum, you cannot do on Ethereum what you do on ICP. You cannot host large language models on Ethereum or Solana, right? Yet ICP's market cap right now is under 2 billion and Ethereum's like over 400 billion, and Solana, I don't know where it's at right now, around 70 billion or something, okay, roughly. So, and Ethereum and Solana are hosted on Amazon Web Services, okay? The internet computer is a new technology. So the first crypto you had was Bitcoin. Bitcoin was basically computations and nodes, which are computers, coming to a consensus or an agreement based on mathematical problems so that it's basically a digital ledger where it can say you transferred or you received, right? Now, if you have 51% of the nodes are compromised, I'm not going to go down this rabbit trail either because this will ruffle feathers, but there's a lot you can do that, people think that Bitcoin is fail proof. It's not, okay? Ethereum was the next level. Okay, so Bitcoin, the whole theme was decentralized finance, a savior from the banking system, the '08 collapse, right? Ethereum was the birth of smart contracts. Smart contracts are basically programs that say if A happens, do B, then C, right? So it's autonomous, it's automated programs in a sense. ICP has canister smart contract technology. It can host data, it can compute, and it has a recursive state. So it can change in real time as new data is received. You can do HTTP calls to and from ICP canisters. You can host websites, web apps, domains. You can integrate with Web 2 seamlessly with Web 3. You don't have to pay gas fees like on Ethereum, these ridiculously high gas fees, because the developers pay the gas fees with Cycles, which is a reverse gas fee. It's the only blockchain with this model. Not to mention with Caffeine AI that is out now, not going to come out, you can literally type in text and deploy programs or apps and websites on the blockchain, okay, in real time. It's very cheap, it's very doable. You don't need all these things that you need with Web 2, like with Replit or loveley.dev or a lot of these other ones, right? Cursor AI that have exploded in the last year in the AI niche, okay? Literally, you are eliminating the biggest problem, which is a sloppy tech stack, because Web 2 infra is not really AI optimal, okay? It's not optimized for AI, period. You need a new infrastructure, and it just so happens how NVIDIA is around 4.5 trillion valuation right now, became the biggest company in the world, because it just so happened that graphics processing units were the technology that allowed LLMs to run all these computations, okay? This caused this to be the biggest company in the world, okay? What do you think is going to happen? Now, don't get me wrong. ICP disrupts all these technologies like cloud service, cybersecurity. I mean, you're talking about AI, LLMs, on-chain, privacy, security, scalability, which has been issues for all blockchains, right? But the same way that NVIDIA, the GPUs, were the tech that enabled these large language models and this AI boom, ICP is an infrastructure that you can build and deploy apps and websites on, software on the blockchain without being a developer, without understanding code. By typing natural language, you can deploy on-chain within a couple minutes, okay? There is no other technology in the world that comes close to doing that, because you can't just change or tweak one thing. You have to build from the ground up. And the Definity team, they launched in May 2021. There was a situation when they launched where the token price pumped and it dumped. There was a whole thing about that. You can do research on that. I'm not going to get into that. But right now, you're talking about a digital asset that can do what no other digital asset that we know of, right? Because we don't know what kind of technologies they have that they don't tell us about. But what we know of, there's nothing in the top 100 cryptos, including Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, that can do what the internet computer can do. Okay, nothing. You cannot host an LLM on any other chain. Also, there's chain key technology. So you can sign transactions on Solana and Ethereum. So it's not even like ICP came out to like crucify every other chain. They were so smart. They said, hey, we're going to be able to sign Bitcoin transactions through chain key technology. And once you understand the technology side of this, I mean, just the cybersecurity, that's $10 trillion a year right there. It solves a $10 trillion a year problem. If that was the only thing it did, it has a $2 billion valuation. Do the math. Okay, next thing, we look at these things I mentioned like Replit. like Cursor AI, like loveley.dev, like bolt.new, these things where you type and you get an app, right? And then you still got the database on the back end, you still have the APIs, you still have all this confusing stuff that nobody, one line of your code is wrong, it breaks, it doesn't work, you got to throw it away, start over. It's just a fuss. Nobody wants to deal with this stuff, okay? With Caffeine AI, now everybody with a smartphone, about 5 billion, 6 billion, 7 billion people, however many it is, can type an idea on an app and deploy it on chain like this. Do you understand? We're looking at like an app store moment, like the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store for AI agents, because the next biggest trend in the world is AI. It's AI agents, okay? So agents are like an LLM with arms and legs that can go and perform tasks, okay? Let me go deep here. With ICP, and not to mention, it's actually probably simpler than all the other blockchains out there to develop on, right? ICP, you can literally create autonomous AI agents, deploy them on chain in a canister, okay? Almost for free. You're eliminating the tech problem. You're eliminating the security problem. You're eliminating the centralization problem, right? You're eliminating all of these different things. So people are looking at the speculation of the price. Okay, that's cool. That's one thing. But when censorship is one of the biggest problems in the world, and it comes against our right to free speech, and we're being controlled by the narratives on the top social media platforms. And I'm already building on Caffeine AI, right? I can go build my own apps now. I don't have to rely on Meta and TikTok and only saying what they want me to say, which is not freedom at all. So you have to realize there are so many different aspects. Large language models on chain, right? And now they're incorporating the GPUs with the nodes and the data centers that they have spread across. And we're talking about, it's the most competent team in all of crypto, right? I'm not trying to hype it up. I'm just giving you the facts, right? So they launched in 2021. They began building years before that. Dominic Williams is literally a scientist. The guy's a genius. I mean, just listen to him talk and compare him to anybody else out there. I'm just being real. And I mean, look what they've built. There is so many different things, but the main thing is the new internet. Okay, now the real question and the real issue is BlackRock and the conglomerates and the monopolies on all these industries. At the end of the day, whether you like it or not, or whether you're aware of how the world really works, everything is controlled. Okay, there's a very small group of people that control everything. So that's really a determining factor in how this will roll out and play out, which typically they will usually get control of a platform if they already don't have control to bring about their agenda. And I can go deep on this levels that nobody else talking about. ICP is going to go like Revelations 13, the mark of the beast. Now they're coming out with digital IDs, and the scriptures say end time prophecy, you'll receive a mark on your hand or on your forehead, or you won't be able to buy or sell. We're coming into that time now. Agenda 2030, United Nations Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of all central banks. They print money, they have full immunity, they answer to nobody, right? The Federal Reserve Bank, not federal, not a reserve, not a bank. I can go on and on and on. So a lot of people have this little narrow micro vision, and they don't understand the world. They don't understand the times they're in. They don't understand life. They don't understand truth. They don't understand God, right? They don't understand the brainwashing of the masses. But when you have an understanding of all these things and you see how they all fit into place, and you realize that the way tech is going, you need a certain infrastructure to be able to build these certain things. You cannot build this advanced tech like AI and metaverse and the tokenization and real world assets and all of this. Basically, all of crypto is an illusion right now. It's fake. Okay, like there's no other way to say it. So all these guys shilling projects and this and that, it's the developers, it's the pinfluencers, it's the insiders that are making 9 of the money, and the venture capitalists. But when you have something that you can build with, it has utility. It has the greatest utility. You can do decentralized finance, gaming, real world assets. I mean, interact with every other blockchain. It can be used for enterprise, utopia. You know, anybody can build apps and build sites now for cheaper. So it's democratizing access to these things. So there is no other crypto in the world. Not to mention the developer activity is just continuously rising. And I mean, it's approaching the point here very soon where there will be more developers on the internet computer than any other chain. And when people understand and realize, which now I'm starting to see a few people are starting to catch on, that's why I'm doing this video, you got to realize they're builders. Most crypto is hype, it's bullcrap, it's fugazi, it's just marketing. They haven't really marketed because they're builders. Builders don't give a damn about marketing, because if you build something that nobody else can build or has built, you don't need to market. When you build the best tech in the world, you just have to build it and then present it. Okay? You got developer grants, millions and millions of dollars they give out to people. I mean, there's nothing else out there that does 10% of what this technology does. Not 10%. It can pretty much do everything that the other top 100 cryptos do. So let me know what you think about the internet computer, Caffeine AI. Are you building dApps on chain? I'll do some videos probably if you want me to go more in depth, more in detail about the building side, about the AI side, about the AI agent side, and how to actually be a builder. Because there's people starting to talk about it now, but it's kind of like anybody can turn on the camera and talk. You can watch somebody else's video. That's what people are doing, and they're just blah, 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 blah. They're just parroting what everybody else is saying, which is fine. But what can you build? That's the whole point. The point is building something that can impact the world and change the world. So let me know. Like the video, comment, subscribe to the channel. In the description, you will see information. If you want to go to my website, you want to learn more about me, what I do, you want to join my group, courses, consulting, coaching, development, things of that nature, go ahead, hit my website, and you'll get all the information there. And let me know what you think in the comments. I really want to get feedback so I can go ahead and go through the comments, and then I can compile that, and then on my next video really do a thorough presentation, maybe a little bit of building, and then show how what's happening with AI in the Web 2 realm right now, how these guys don't even have any clue what is about to happen. We're talking about the convergence of AI, blockchain, gaming, real world assets, Web 3, decentralized finance, technology, LLMs, sovereignty, cybersecurity. Absolutely insane. So hope you got value out of this video. It's like 4 a.m. I haven't even been asleep yet, but I was like, I gotta make a video right now. So like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna read the comments and hit my website. Okay, the link will be in the description. Go ahead, put your email, put your SMS, and you can see my group, my offers, my products, services, courses, consulting, coaching, businesses, things that I do. All right, God bless.